Hey, what's up, team? It's Navarro, head trader, Penny Stocks Club 13. It's Monday, September 4th, 2023. And in this video, we're going to go over some of the current trades. We're going to go and break down the SPY and also a look ahead into some of the setups that I am currently looking at and how to trade them. So let's get started, guys. Again, this is not investment advice. I am not telling you what to buy, what to sell. You trade at your own risk. Now let's get to it, guys. So we have the SPY right here, the daily chart. Every candle is 1 day. As you all can see, we finally got a trend line at the top. So if we break over this trend line, then we can look for continuation. If we stay below it, then we got to look for a pullback. We do have two low points here. We have a low on this sell-off, this pullback. Then of course on the previous pullback we did form another higher low, which now gives us another bottom trend line. So we've got this wedge pattern, pennant pattern going on. So it's more logical and a probability that this is what's gonna be transpiring throughout the next few weeks or month, right? So we might be coming down, we might be doing some of this stuff coming bouncing off of that bottom trend line on, just making this wedge pattern something to be tradable in the near future, right? So now let's go ahead and look at some of the levels that are key here. We do have this 450 level, like I mentioned last time. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and go here and go as close as possible to it. Let me go ahead and get the price level marker. So that's a 450 level, and then we have here 1 2 3 4 5 touches, 6 touches. So we got this 445 level, right? So that's what I see might happen. We might get a little bounce somewhere here in between this zone, but this is not a big resistance or support level. As you all can see, this is where we have most of the significant price reaction at the 445 level. So if we do break down below 450, we can look for a move down to 445. So that is my opinion on SPY. If we stay above 450, if we break previous highs, previous current highs, which is this lower high here, because we got high 52-week high up here. If we do break, then we can look for a retest of that 459 460 level, guys. So we'll just kind of keep an eye on SPY and play it by ear, see what it does, and then take it from there. Now let's get on to this week's setups or stocks that are in play and are currently trading with high volatility. So we traded NEO on Friday, NIO, and I called it down here right off the bottom here at $10.50. I got in at like at 10.75 and then it just completely 10.70, excuse me, and broke out. So let's go to the 1 day 5 minute. So let me go ahead and go to the 5 day 5 minute. But as you all can see, my idea, as I marked my levels here, I had the 1050 support level, and then I had this 1 2 3 times that 1070 was key support and or resistance, right? So I was looking for the breakout into that level, came back down and watched this support at 1050, and then it really just made a higher low, which was confirmation. I entered here, I called it out here, I sold my first take profit here, sold up here at this next resistance at 1110, and then my final take profit was up here at 1130. 127% return, guys, in NIO based off of pure technical levels, and of course a bottom reversal on NIO. It had good news as it had more deliveries year over year as reported on Friday. What else can be sympathy placed to NIO? XPEV, same action, and LI, same action, guys. Of course, NIO I feel was a bigger mover, so I'm gonna stick to watching NIO for continuation to the upside. I got my level here over the $11.10 level. If we go to the 10-day 30-minute, you can see that that level is key. So we break, retest, and continue going. That's our entry, guys. Again, you have to wait for the break. Okay, the break could be like this, could be a big break, come back down, and then we enter on confirmation, right? If we break below, if we enter and break below, then we just get out of the trade. It's gonna fail. It's not a good setup anymore. So we'll be out, and then we'll just be waiting for another setup, either to the downside or to the upside. MNST is the next one on my list. I did call this one out. I've been telling you, MNST. I got in here. I got out here, and then came back up. I did not trade this push up, but I did tell you that if it starts breaking below this $57 level, that I'll be looking for the retest and then a push lower on confirmation. So MNST, guys, I do have my alert set. I have an alert set at 57. So we'll see how that plays out. AEHR, this one, let's go ahead and go to the 1 day 184 minute and 4 hour, excuse me. We do have higher highs, but then we have a higher low, a break of structure. We broke below those highs, came back, couldn't go above, came back down, bounced up the 200 SMA, and now we're testing that supply zone, guys. So if we play probabilities here, we can more than likely assume that we're gonna get a rejection, at least a temporary rejection. If we play a temporary rejection, we could play it down to this 48 level and then look for some consolidation here, or a complete just rejection to the downside. We go to the 1 day 1 year. We were in an uptrend, sold off. We're trying to retest those levels, so we might be, we did try it once, twice, 3 times, and now 4th time. Will it actually go higher? Look at the volume here, and it couldn't break through. There is actually no volume here, so my thought process here is I want to go short on it. And the setup to the downside is even better than the setup to the upside, if you think about it, because you have a very low risk, right, versus a very high reward to the downside. Risk versus reward, in my opinion, AEHR, it is a good stock, but I think right now might be overvalued in my opinion. So that's my thought on AEHR. Also, we have this shooting star, or we'll see how it plays out. Again, if I do not see tomorrow a higher high, if I see something like this type of candle where we try to push up, open low, let me try that again. We open below the close, right? And we actually try to push up a little higher. It's not gonna let me, but imagine an upper wick right here. If we do get an upper wick and then we get a red candle here, then I'm going short all the way. So if I see this, I'm going short. I'm gonna write it down to that 44 cent level where we have the 50 EMA, 45, 46, start taking profits off the table. So that's what I'm looking at for AEHR, LACR, guys. So this one I was running technicals. As you can see, I have my stuff here. We have this left shoulder, head, right shoulder, and I do like this double bottom. Okay, we got this W right here. We had a huge candle, and now I do want to go back. I know I saw this pattern somewhere, and the difference between this pattern and the other one, and how this one looks to be a lot better. So I think it was here. We did get a big candle, engulfing bullish candle here, but it was at the top, and then we got a rejection candle here, right? So I'm gonna go ahead. This is all I'm talking about. We got this rejection candle, came back lower, and then we started pushing higher. Difference here is we already made that low, then we got this bullish engulfing candle, and then look at the price action just holding that 580 level, guys. Now the risk will be somewhere down here. If we break below this lows, this 575, I'll probably at 570, 560, I will cut it. If it sets up again, I will buy it again, but I'm looking for that push higher. As you can see here, we got this push up, we got the pull back, and this is a very simple pattern, guys. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. So right here we have our A, we have our B, we have our C. This is our entry as we entered on Friday, and we're looking for that D. It's an A, B, C, D pattern, guys. A, B, C, D. That's a simple setup. There's nothing more to it. It either works or it fails. ABCD pattern, we're at the C level. We shouldn't see anything else other than higher prices on off the open tomorrow. If it doesn't work, then we just cut it, move on to the next one. AFRM, guys, just a huge push. And right now, as you all can see, we have this resistance level. That's where it's at. It's been pushing higher on declining volume. If I know, I honestly don't like the way I traded this one. Called it out too soon. I thought it was going to reject here. It didn't, and it just continued going higher. So for the future, guys, this is the last time, and I never recommend this, of course, except with options, especially with options. Let me correct myself, because once you enter and then you add, now you're fighting time decay plus a higher or a very strong push upward in any particular stock. Once you do that, I mean, just like I exposed my risk a little bit here and I added to my risk, that is something that I will not do again unless I am on a winning trade. I will add to the winners. On this one, I'm glad I did not, or my position sizing is comfortable. It's not something that will break the bank, but still, regardless of my position sizing, I shouldn't be holding on to losers in this manner, and you shouldn't either. All right, so again, if we open lower tomorrow, then I'll probably hold, and I'll be happy to recover some of the losses and hopefully possibly just break even and then wait for another setup on this one. So now we see we have strong potential to the upside. So now what I'm looking for here is for a bounce off of this levels, right? So now we're looking for a bounce of this previous resistance, which can now possibly turn into support, guys. I don't know what's going on with this, but so this would be now where I would want it to come back in, test that level, and then make a push higher, guys. That's what we're looking for. AFRM and now LCID with this downward channel being broken. We entered here. I entered on the second day right here. Let me go ahead and go to the 20-day 1 hour. So I called it out here, came back up, it tested that resistance level, came back, and then it tested this top trend line. I entered right there exactly, guys. I sold the following day up here at 635, and then 640 was my final take, and then it's just been trading sideways, which is actually a good thing, right? So we had a push, we had consolidation. I would love it to come and test 620, reject, and continue higher. That would be the perfect setup. It already did it a couple of times, 1, 2, 3. So now if we start breaking higher, then I'll be looking to get some calls, of course, with a very tight stop loss. So this 640 level, if I buy it above 640, I will probably have a 635, 635, or 630 stop loss, with the idea that it might go to 680 or $7. So that would be like a 1, 2, 3, or 4 ratio return on investment. So we'll see how LCID works out next week. I have others that I am looking at, other stocks that I think have potential, but I want to make this video short, and I guess I just want to break down some of the ones that I think have a better potential of continuation or reversal. So guys, that is it for me. We'll catch you in the next one.